Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to use Excel for your personal finance. So this is basically a method, a way for you not to forget whatever payments that you need to make in the future. So here we're gonna use network days dot international, also data validation, autocolor, seller row, and some if formula. If Okay, I have all the things ready on sheet one, so let's go there. There's really nothing jaw dropping about this one. It's very simple and it's very helpful to me, and I hope that you could learn a thing or two. So let's go there. First, I'm going to tell you what's going on in here. RDM is my initial, so that's what RDM is. Date, I have a date here just so I know when was the last time that I used this Excel. I kind of use this like every day, so for me to know how much free balance do I have, so if I need to make any more payments today, or if I want to make any more spending today. So that's why this is really important, so that I don't overspend. So first I want to know my financial status right at this very moment, so that's why it is very important to update the cash on hand balance, which I did already. I have 200, and then in caution bank I have 1,000, and credit card available balance right at this moment is like 10,000. Expected cash inflows, this is just my salary. This is something not with me right now, but it's something I am expecting, and it's something sure for you guys. If you have other incomes, you can just like add it up here, or you can just uh, make another column for that. And then this one is like red because this is a commitment for me. It's like loan balance, so I know how much more do I have to pay. This loan balance is actually for my phone. And just so you know, these are like not my real personal data, so these are just something close maybe, but not really my anyway. So let's move on. So I'm just gonna go through the bills and expenses. So I have here the loan installment. On this example, it's like 2,000 per month. Loan balance is still 24,000. That means I haven't made any installment payments yet, so it would be the first time. Okay, and then, by the way, this is not in order, so what, we're gonna have to remove this classification. I'm sorry, it should not be there. All right, so I want us to fill in this one, this one, and this one. This one's already given because this can vary, depends on your personal information. Alright, so let's go. Let's loan installment. That's what I was saying earlier. And then credit card payment. For example, I have 20,000 credit limit. What's being used up is already 10,000. Statement was out on the 15th, so this is the full outstanding amount that I have to pay in order for me to avoid the interest. Then savings, I recommend that saving should be a prorate of your salary, current salary. It's always like that. Do not assign a figure. It always have to be a percentage, and should be like 14% or higher than that, but try not to go below this. Emergency funds, I kind of have like 20,000 provision for it. So I kind of make sure that there's always like a 20,000 emergency funds. For example, if this month I use some emergency funds, for example 5,000, so I have to pay that back. So that's why there's a 5,000 there. That should be like 10%, maybe more. I don't know if you could go less, but it is there. It could be through your church, or you know moral obligation. Just I know how you pay this, maybe to some people that are needful. So that's really up to you. House rent, of course, if you're not living with your parents. You have electricity, water, gas, internet. These are all utilities. Of course, your food consumption, monthly grocery, transportation allowance, since you're working, your lunch allowance, Family support, like if you're independent, so you just give some assistance to your family back home. Your Shopee allowance, this is kind of your wants. What of this one? There's regular and personal. Um, I mean regular personal reward and special personal reward. This means like your monthly budget for yourself, for your wants, and this one is like time to time. If you made any accomplishment and you feel that you have to reward yourself, that's that. Anyway, so I have the amount already here, determined it already before, and when do I have to pay this? So this is actually for next month. I mean, I'm looking I'm looking at all of this right at this very day, like what I have right now and what do I have to pay right now? What do I have to pay right now? Maybe I have to do now, or maybe I have to do in the future. That's why it's all there in the due date. So as you can see, that's that. There's nothing actually like dated November 20, nothing, yeah. So, but how do we know how much more days do we have before the payment is due, before we have to make the payment? So we're gonna use the network days, this one. So start date will be today. We want to use today. Our end date will be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I hope I'm making this okay. No. Oh yeah, there. If you happen to miss something, it will have to charge my laptop. I'm low bats. Where is it? Ha, forget about it. Sorry. Okay, so let's go back. So this is 16. We have to drag it down in order for us to have all of these determined. There. It is showing error here because I did not put any date there. There's no due date. That's why I did not put any date. But you can actually put your target date when you want this to be, fulfilled or um, met. So for me, I don't do that. So here should be replaced by not applicable. There's no due date, so I don't put due date. It's going to confuse me only if I'm gonna put a target date, but you can perfectly do that. That should be fine. Okay, so now payment method is how do I expect to pay them? So that's this one. And then more details is more like justification of your expense or payment that you will make. So classification, I have three classification for this one. So for example, here I have critical, I have not critical, and I have discretionary. I have two types under critical. I have critical and due soon. It means 7 days before due date. Critical and not due soon. This one is like 8 or more days before due date. First, what are the expenses or payments that are critical? These are the bills or payments that could affect you. For example, if you didn't pay your electricity or your house, you probably get your electricity cut off, or you will probably get your butt kicked off by your landlord. I don't know, something like that. Here you have not critical and too soon. Here is not critical, critical and not too soon. This one is like, for example, if you have a borrowings from your friend and you have like an agreed date to pay that back, so that's where it becomes due soon if it's like 7 days before that agreed date. Otherwise, it is not due soon if it's more than 7 days. It's not critical because what will your friend do to you? Kill you? I don't think so. Discretionary is discretionary, means it's only up to you. It solely depends to you. Alright, so we're ready to classify all of these things. So here we're going to use the data validation, and I'm sorry because I think I may have done it before. So let's just do it elsewhere where we don't have it. Here we don't have a lookup. Just lookup. I think this is lookup, right? This is called lookup. I think so. Anyway, so we still have it until here. Okay, so we're gonna do the data validation just for in case you don't know how to do the data validation. First, you're gonna have to do a list. You're gonna have to name this list as let's just say list. So we call that list. So that's the list. We will name this as list. Okay, so that's how you're going to name it from there. Okay, so now this is the cell that we want to do the validation. So we go to the data, then data validation. Then here we're gonna have to find the list. Then the source will be equals, and then the one that we created earlier, that was the list. There you go. So it should be there, all of those options earlier. Those is that we created, no? This one here. Okay, so now that we have it here, we just have to copy it there and then drag it down. So now we're ready to classify those expenses. So credit card payment, it is solely up to you how you're going to classify it, but based from my understanding, credit card payment is critical, but it's not due soon because we have 16 days to pay this. Savings will be, I forgot here, the loan will be the same as the credit card because we want to avoid interest. And no, I don't want to save you right now. Okay, so next will be savings. Savings as well, it's really up to you if you want to categorize it as critical. Why my spelling is like that? So this one is critical. Okay, so I don't want to save you. Okay, here, savings, it can be critical, it can be not critical, it can be discretionary. It's really up to you, but we know how important savings is, so it's really up to you really. But for this analysis, for this Excel, I'm just gonna use that as discretionary because nothing will happen if we didn't save really, but there's an effect later. But if we didn't set aside money for the savings, nothing will happen. It's not like the electricity that will get cut off, so nothing, right? So that is my explanation for that one. And emergency funds will be the same thing, but that doesn't mean it is less important. It is actually important. But I want to meet all of the critical those that I really have to pay before I before I save something for this one. I know, let's see. Maybe we may have to recategorize this later, but for now, let's just keep it in discretionary. The same thing with this tides. Why do I keep saving you? I don't want to save you. Sorry, it's just bad habit, or maybe good habit. I just don't want to save this right now. Electricity will be critical and not just one. Same. Only grocery will be same. There's no due date, so not too soon. Same. This one's discretionary if you want to give to your family or not. Your shopping allowance, of course, it's really up to you if you want to save some or just do your normal shopping online activity. Then now we're ready to use the if formula. Just because we want to this one. We know already what is this for. This one, and this one's the same for this matter. Okay, so now we're ready to put priority for this classification. We just want to say that critical and due zone is prioritized as very high. It is labeled as very high. This one is high, this one is medium, this one is low, this one is very low. Okay, so now we're gonna have to automate the cells by doing if formula. So let's say if this cell equals to critical and adjuvant zone, then the answer will be very high. We want that cell to have a very high answer. And then comma, we want, this is one statement already, we want to have a clean statement, so we gonna use alt enter just for the second statement. So if otherwise this cell is critical and adjacent, then the answer will be high. Okay, next statement, if the cell, this H6 cell, equals not critical and adjacent, then the answer will be medium. Then another statement, if this cell, H6 cell, equal to not critical and not just soon, then the answer will be low. Then next statement, if this cell equals to discretionary, then the answer will be very low. Now we are ready to lock. In order for us to just drag down the formula, we want to lock this source cells, this one, because they don't change. So we will lock them by using $sign. Okay, almost done. We're done. So now we're ready to close it by adding close parentheses. How many statements do we have? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So click enter. So there we go. We have high. We have to test this first before we can, drag the formula down. So let's say this one is, let's say this is too soon. It should be very high, not too soon is high. And then this one is off. Okay, this is very high. This is not too soon. Okay, this is wrong. So this is wrong. It doesn't show us the value. So we have to go back to the formula and find the third statement. Something is wrong with this one. But what is wrong with this one? Oh, there, I have skipped. I think it's because they're using alt enter so much. That's what. This is easy fix, don't worry. Nothing we cannot manage. I'm just gonna remove this one. And then this one I'm gonna use alt enter. Hold on. Where'd you go? So this is the first statement, this is the second statement, this is the third statement. And we're gonna have to use comma here. Then alt enter, and then we're gonna have to use the if. The fourth one, this one, if this cell equals this one, then the answer will be low, right? Then comma, and then alt enter again, and then if this cell equals this, the answer will be very low. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before we close this one, oh, what did I do? Before I close this one, this is already okay, but we need to lock it down. We did not lock it by using the dollar, no? This is okay if you're not going to drag the formula down later, but in this case we need to. So I have to lock these. Okay, so there. Let's test it one by one again. That's very high. That's high. That's medium. Fourth will be low. Very low. Okay, everything's working, so we just have to drag this down. First, we're gonna have to put this back to the correct classification, and then we're ready to drag this formula down. Yay! So we have that. Next, we're gonna have to autocolor this based on this order. So we're gonna assign color here. We're gonna, because it's critical, we're gonna make it dark red. Sorry, you are not F, you are D. And then this one's red. This one is orange. This one is yellow. This one is green. Okay, so how do we autocolor? We're gonna use the conditional formatting. First, we're gonna have to highlight this that we want to format. So we make rule. It's a new rule. I'm gonna use this one equals dollar sign. We're gonna use the I because this one will be our basis for following me. So I6 equals, if it's very high, we want it to get a color of deep red. Okay. Okay. Next one, if we want this same, we need to have 5. For example, if that I6 is high, then the color is red. Let's see if it's going to color red. Yes, it did. Next would be if that I6 equals medium. We don't have medium, so it will not color this orange. So it's medium. Next will be same formula. I6 equals low. Then this will be yellow. We don't have low also. Don't have low. And then last one will be new rule. Same as before. This is the 5th rule. So dollar I6 equals low. Love. Low, then this is yellow. So those very low. What did I do? I think this is very low already. Cancel. It's very low. Gonna make it yellow. So this should be very low. That's that. Just to make sure we're having the 5 conditional formatting, we have to manage all the rules and see if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not correct. This one should be orange because this is low. This medium is, hold on. This is correct. Medium is orange. This low is yellow. This is also correct. The incorrect one was the last one. the very low should be green. Discretionary would be green. So there, how's that? Okay, because I have them all on high and very low, so it gives me only two color. I also want to make one more rule, like for me to get alerted if this one will fall on 7, so it will automatically um very red. For example, this one, if it'll be 7 days here, it doesn't become very red. I want it to be very red, so I know that I only have 7 days to pay it. Same thing with the not critical one, so the yellow will become orange. So how to do that? It's the same as earlier. So we just have to make new rule, but in this case we're gonna have to do two conditions. So that's end equals same thing, the I6, and also the I6 should be high, and we also want to have a dollar, this E6 should be less than 8. So there we are ready to put the color deep red. Just to make sure this is working, let's say tomorrow is the due date for this one. So there, it become very red. This one here you have to do manually because that's it. It's something you have to do manually. Anyway, that's the limitation. I can actually work that out. I haven't worked it out yet because this one works for me fine, and I don't have a problem in doing that manually. Same thing as for the. I'll just put it back earlier. It's 12.5. One more is for the not critical. The same formula. We don't have that here. We're not gonna see it, but I have to have that. It is end I6 dollar I6 was medium. It's medium, right? Low actually. If it's low, then but it is not critical and not too soon, but the day before its due date is less than 8, that means it has to turn to orange. It becomes too soon. We get alerted. What this problem with this one? Because I forgot here the E6 is E6. Let's just see. For example, this one is let's make it not too soon, not stated, but we're gonna make this one to tomorrow, 11:21, because this one we have to formulate. If you remember, we made this manual earlier. There. So there. If this one is, let's say December 5, it should turn yellow because there's 16 days. But if it's November 21, it turns orange. It means it becomes not critical and too soon. So that's, my friend, how this Excel works. Okay. Again, I don't want to save you, but that's that. For in any case that I'd like to add, I I just insert. That's pretty basic. I don't need to tell you that. So that's this one. If you're going to make your something similar, do not put this one here. It should be there. But I want it to be viewable, so let's just put it here. Then the problem for this one is, for example, if this list gets longer, you forget that you have all this formula here, which is connected to this whatever you call this one. And so that's why everything gets messed up, and you don't want that. Also, we can use this one. We need to do filter. We need to do the filters. That means we would like to filter them. But for example, what are the credit card payments you want that you will that needs credit card payment? That's that. So you can pretty much like use filter. I'm sure you know what is that for. So here, if I want to see all of my high payments, actually first you want to view your very high, because those are your priority, meaning you have to clear all the very high. And in this case, we don't have very high, and we want to already pay some of these commitments. What we need to pay next is the high, because this one will bother us later, so we need to pay. For example, right now, for the loan installment, I have 10,000 balance, and it tells me here that I can use credit card to clear this one. I can pretty much clear this already and then just have this remove. Balance will be updated with 8,000 and so on. This credit card payment, I can reduce this by 1,000 right now, or otherwise, once I got this cash inflow, this salary, I can clear this one. I have to clear this one all, like I mentioned, and then once I got this cleared, this one will become more, and then I'll be able to pay all of these. Or right now I can actually pay all of this: electricity, water, gas, internet. Maybe do this because I still have 10,000 balance limit. That means I can still play with this credit card and clear all of this red. But I don't probably want to do that because maybe I still have groceries which I had from my last budget I have for this month of November. Maybe I want to do my shopping on December 1. It's really up to me. The same thing for this one. We cannot do anything about it. These are something for next month. It means like maybe right now I still have lunch allowance because it is not part of this already, because like I mentioned earlier, these are pre-cash, meaning these are the cash after removing all of the provisions that I had for November, and these are all for December. So for example, this is already for December, meaning I still have my November allowance, and this one are my utility bills for November, but still not due, and it's really up to me if I want to pay it now or later. But in normal scenario, I probably would pay this because I have this balance anyway. I'm gonna use my card. So that's what it is. And once all of these are cleared, I'm just gonna find my medium um labeled, what do you call that, all of my expenses that has a medium classification. But in this case, I only have very low, so I will go to the very low, and from here I will do that. So that is it. Okay, finished. Thank you.